Try a simple experiment. Move one finger lightly across your opposite forearm. You can feel the contact. You know where the finger is moving and how much pressure you are using. But for most people, it does not produce the uncontrollable reaction we normally mean by being tickled. Now imagine someone else moving their fingers toward your ribs, waist, or feet. Sometimes the reaction begins before they even touch you. Your body pulls away, your breathing changes, and you may start laughing despite trying not to. The skin can be the same. The pressure can be similar. So why does touch from another person feel so different from touch you create yourself? The usual answer is that you cannot tickle yourself because your brain knows it is you. That is basically true, but it leaves out the interesting part. How does the brain know? What is being predicted? And why can a tiny delay make self-touch more ticklish? First, we should clarify what a tickle is. Scientists often separate two experiences. One is a light, feather-like sensation that can feel itchy or make you brush something away. This is sometimes called knismesis, and you can produce some of it yourself. The second is the stronger, laughter-producing kind, associated with areas such as the ribs, armpits, waist, neck, or feet. This is called gargalesis. It is especially difficult to create through your own movement. Even here, science has more unanswered questions than people realize. We do not have one confirmed tickle receptor. We do not fully understand why particular areas are more ticklish, why people differ so much, or why laughter does not always mean enjoyment. Tickling is familiar, but surprisingly understudied. What we understand better is how the nervous system treats sensations caused by our own actions. Every time you make a deliberate movement, your nervous system sends commands to the muscles. It also creates information about that command, often called an efference copy. Think of it as an internal copy of the movement instruction. That copy helps the nervous system estimate what the movement is about to feel like. When you move one hand toward the other arm, the brain can predict approximately when contact will happen, where it will happen, and how strong the pressure should be. This is sometimes described as a forward model. The nervous system predicts the sensory result of an action before all the feedback arrives, then compares what was expected with what actually happened. When the prediction and incoming sensation closely match, the touch is usually perceived as less intense. This is called sensory attenuation. The touch has not disappeared, and the skin nerves have not switched off. You can still locate the finger and feel the pressure, but the predictable part of the sensation receives less perceptual weight. It becomes less surprising, less prominent, and usually less ticklish. Researchers can measure this without relying on laughter. In a force matching experiment, a device presses on a participant's finger. The participant then tries to reproduce the same force, either by pressing directly with the other hand or by controlling a device indirectly. When people press directly, they often use more force than was originally applied. Their self-generated pressure feels weaker, so they add pressure to make it seem equal. With indirect control, the error becomes smaller. This gives researchers a measurable example of sensory attenuation. The cerebellum appears to be important in this process. It is commonly associated with balance and coordination, but it also contributes to predicting the sensory consequences of movement. Brain imaging studies find reduced responses in somatosensory areas during self-generated touch compared with external touch. The amount of perceptual attenuation is also related to communication between the cerebellum and somatosensory regions. Stronger functional connection is associated with greater reduction of the self-generated sensation, but prediction only works well when the result arrives as expected. In a classic experiment, participants moved one robotic device with one hand, while a second device delivered the resulting touch to their other hand. When movement and touch occurred together in the expected direction, the sensation felt less intense and less ticklish. The researchers then added a delay, or changed the direction of the touch. As the timing and path became less predictable, the sensation became more ticklish. The participant was still causing it, but the result no longer matched the brain's forecast. The nervous system does not simply apply a label saying, "I caused this, so ignore it." It predicts details about timing, location, and movement. When reality differs from that prediction, attenuation becomes weaker. These predictions can also adapt. Recent experiments repeatedly exposed people to a 1/10 of a second delay between an action and the resulting touch. With experience, the nervous system began adjusting to the new timing. After adapting to the delay, immediate self-touch felt stronger than it had before. So the inability to tickle yourself is not a fixed on and off reflex. It depends on how accurately your action predicts the result. This also explains why another person has such an advantage. When someone else reaches toward you, your nervous system does not have a copy of their motor command. You may see the hand and make a general prediction, but you do not know the exact timing, pressure, speed, or path as precisely as you know your own action. A hesitation, sudden change in direction, or contact in a slightly unexpected place creates prediction error. The sensation carries more new information, receives more attention, and is less attenuated. Human experiments show that externally produced tickle responses develop quickly. Changes in facial expression and breathing can emerge within a few hundred milliseconds, followed shortly by vocalization. Stronger ticklishness also tends to produce faster, louder, and higher-pitched laughter. Self-touch can even reduce the response to someone else's tickle. When people touch themselves while an experimenter tickled them, their ticklishness ratings fell and their vocal reactions were delayed. This does not mean the brain has one simple tickle cancellation button. Movement can reduce sensitivity to touch more generally, and that process is not identical to predictive attenuation. Several mechanisms may operate together. There is also more than one system involved in touch. The skin contains receptors responding to pressure, vibration, stretch, movement, and temperature. In hairy skin, researchers have studied slow-conducting fibers, called C-tactile efference. They respond particularly well to gentle stroking at slow speeds and near normal skin temperature. Their activity is associated with the pleasant, emotional dimension of interpersonal touch. But C-tactile fibers are not simply tickle nerves, and they do not explain massage as a whole. Strong laughter-producing tickle probably involves several kinds of sensory input, and its exact neural ingredients remain uncertain. Pleasant stroking, irritating feather-like touch, firm pressure, pain, and laughter-producing tickle may overlap, but they are not the same experience. So what does this mean for massage? It helps explain why self-massage can feel different from receiving similar contact from someone else. During self-massage, you choose the location, begin the movement, control the speed, and anticipate the pressure. Much of the result is predictable. Tools can change the experience. A ball against a wall, foam roller, or handheld device creates more indirect contact and may produce pressure that is harder to predict precisely. This does not make the tool magical. It changes the relationship between action and sensation. Touch from another person contains more uncertainty. It may draw attention differently and feel stronger, more novel, or more emotionally meaningful. But different does not automatically mean better. Unexpected touch can be calming in one context and unpleasant in another. Consent, communication, trust, and preference matter. The science of self-tickling also does not prove that external touch releases stored emotions, resets the nervous system, or permanently changes tissue. Sensory attenuation explains why physically similar touches may not feel identical. By itself, it does not tell us which treatment will produce a better outcome. That distinction matters. A fascinating nervous system mechanism should not become another exaggerated explanation for everything massage does. The larger lesson is that sensation is not a simple recording of pressure applied to skin. What we feel depends on the physical stimulus, but also on who produced it, whether it was predicted, when it arrived, where attention was directed, and what the situation meant to us. When you try to tickle yourself, your brain is not failing to detect the touch. It is successfully predicting the consequences of your action, so the matching sensation is reduced. When someone else tickles you, the forecast is less precise. Timing shifts, direction changes, and the touch contains information your own motor system did not generate. So the strange fact that you cannot properly tickle yourself reveals something much larger than a party trick. Your nervous system is constantly separating what you caused from what happened to you. It predicts, compares, adjusts, and decides which sensations deserve attention. And most of the time, it does all of that before you have even started laughing. So the next time a hand moving toward your ribs makes you laugh before contact, remember, your nervous system is already predicting the next moment. And if you think you can outsmart it, go ahead, try tickling yourself.